Welcome back to The Daily Buzz. You know him from SNL, Weeds, his hilarious stand-up. Check this out.
A couple weeks ago, a cop pulled me over because you can't use a cell phone where I live. You know, you can't be talking into the phone. You could eat a Big Mac, you know, you could put your makeup on in the mirror, you could have a Starbucks between your legs, you could be staring with your knees, but you can't hold a cell phone. And the cop pulled me over. They never tell you what you do wrong. He sticks his head in the window, he goes, "Do you know why I pulled you over?" I said, "Excuse me, I'm on the phone."
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Kevin Nealon to The Daily Buzz.
Thanks for being here.
That is funny, and I have never seen that before. That is,
Can you not watch? I looked over and you kind of looked down.
Yeah,
no, can't watch it.
Yeah,
Can't watch it. Good stuff. Now that's from Whelming, but not overly.
That's Whelmed, but not overly. It's my last Showtime special.
Yes.
It's available on DVD now.
Very nice.
Very nice. So, you know, with all of the stuff that's on your resume, we had a lot of people asking, and I'm curious, of everything you've done, roles or stand-up or anything, what's been your favorite? And why, obviously?
Oh, it's a two-part question. Okay.
Yes.
I would say probably my first Tonight Show stand-up appearance with Johnny Carson.
Wow.
Yeah, because that was the show to do back then. You know, it was really the only late-night talk show.
Yeah.
And once you did that, it kind of validated you as a stand-up.
Sure.
It's like passing your bar exam as a lawyer, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
Nothing really has surpassed that as far as excitement for me.
Yeah, all really downhill? No, it's just been easy though, right? Because I mean, how nervous were you going into that? I mean,
I was so
talking
nervous.
Carson.
When I first heard that I got the show, and I was to be on it like 3 days later, I just continuously went over my 5-minute act in my head.
Yeah.
And you know, we could be talking now, and I'd be nodding, but really I'd be going over my act in my head.
Paying no attention.
Yeah. And then when they, Johnny Carson introduced me, the curtain opened up, and I went out there to the applaud. I totally went blank. I could not remember my act, you know.
Really?
And by the time the audience stopped applauding, I finally remembered it, and I did it. But I was so nervous. My mouth was so dry. When I would smile, my lips would get stuck up there like that, you know.
I've been there.
Cotton mouth.
Yeah.
And I didn't want to lick my lips because then people would know I was nervous. So I tried to adjust by bringing the lower lip up, like that, you know.
And doing a little Leno thing. Right.
Yeah.
No, but your humor and your delivery is so dry and witty anyway. It's like I could almost think you could get away with that. You're just hiding that.
Yeah.
How did you come up with from SNL Subliminal Man and that delivery? Because that's really difficult and you do it effortlessly.
Well, the Subliminal Man, none of your business, is one of those things that was I was fortunate enough to kind of come into. I met a character actor in Los Angeles when I first moved out there named Ed Peck. He used to do a lot of shows like Laverne and Shirley and Happy Days. He played the cop, he had a deep voice. He did a thing called tagging. So he brought me to this Cantor's Delicatessen one night. It's a popular delicatessen in Hollywood. And he goes, "I'm going to tag this waitress." Here's what I'm going to do. He told me what he was going to do. And he slipped these words in there, these, profanity, to the waitress. But it'd be things like, let's see, I think I'm going to have the French fries, your treat, and then I'll also have, And so I partially from him, and then also I went to school for advertising, so I knew about subliminal advertising.
Oh.
Yeah. So I got together with Al Franken and myself, and we came up with Subliminal Man.
So is this how you would come up with a lot of your characters, or even when you're like doing research, you pay attention to real people, or were they ones that you just created in your head?
Well, you know, as a comic, you pay attention to everything. You're always looking for those little gems, like for Hans and Franz, the bodybuilders.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah, that's right. We find the girly man and we pummel them into submission. Yeah. Let me tell you something. Hear me now, believe me later. Look at the cameraman. He took his belt off. He calls it flabalanche. But anyway, so I was in a hotel in Des Moines, Iowa. I think it was a Red Lion, and I'm watching Arnold Schwarzenegger. They're asking him what he does when he comes into town. I was on tour with Dana Carvey and Dennis Miller at the time, and I called Dana's room. I said, "Dana, you got to watch Arnold on the Showtime thing." And Arnold was so specific about what he does. He goes, they say, what do you do when you get into town, when you're on the road? He goes, I like to slip into the nice light cotton shirt, and then I go out in the town, and I come back into the hotel room, I slip into the nice light cotton sheets, And so we kind of mimicked him for the rest of the tour, and we kind of pledged that we would come up with some characters by the beginning of the next season.
That's so great.
I love that. All right, well, let's talk about characters you've recently portrayed. Doug Wilson from Weeds. I love that show, Weeds. You're great on it. I mean, but that character is such a departure from who you are, right? But you have a whole audience out there that probably thinks you're a...
Well, that's really not a character in that show. That is me.
That's just...
Yeah, that's me.
I'm stoned all the time.
Yeah. Yeah, that character is... That was something that just fell in my lap. A show called Weeds, and at first I thought, oh, it's a stoner show.
Yeah.
You know, this has been done to death. I don't know if I'm going to want to do this.
Yeah.
And I read it, and the writing was so great
Brilliant.
in it, and the characters were great. So I auditioned for it with a bunch of other people, you know, and I got the part, and it was just a guest star. And then when I got picked up as a series, they made me a regular.
Yeah.
And it's been fun playing that character because you know, as you know, he's you can live vicariously through him, and he just has no rules.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
He does not. He does
That's right.
not. Well, you're on the road now.
Yeah.
Touring a lot. Everywhere.
Yeah, I'm on the road a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do stand-up. Stand-up is really my passion. It's what I started out doing, and the acting was secondary. You know, SNL and Weeds, all that stuff was Sandler films. I've done a lot of Adam Sandler films.
Yeah.
But the stand-up is really, you know, well, I never stopped doing it. I've been doing it for over 30 years now.
Yeah.
So you're at the Orlando Improv this weekend.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
and
right.
how long are you there, and where to next?
I'm there for 3 years.
Just
Yeah.
stand put.
Come
Yeah.
on by.
We'll forward your mail. Mamaroneck, New York, February 2nd at the Emmeline Theater, and the Paramount Theater, Middletown, New York, February 8th. You guys make sure you check that out. It's kevinnealon.com, right? Is that the?
That's what it is.
dates?
It is
That is what it is.
Or
Right on.
KevinNealon.com.
Or
Either way.
whichever, if you want to
Yeah.
get specific about it. Kevin, thank you so much
Thanks
for
for
being here.
having me.
Really
appreciate you
appreciate
being
it.
Pleasure.
here.
Kevin Nealon, everybody. Nice to have him here.